The reason I came to see Dr. Victoria was about 15 years ago. As I moved down here, I was a traveling salesman for my company. When I was in Florida, I was filling up with gas one day and reached into my back pocket to get my credit card, and my back completely locked up. I've been a basketball player, a golfer, a baseball player my whole life. I've really never had any issues or spent much time at a doctor. Although I went to a chiropractor one time back in Illinois and just never really saw the value in it. But that day when my back locked up, I had never felt pain like that ever in my life. So after about 10 minutes, I finally eased up where I could get back in my car, called my office, told them to find me a chiropractor, preferably a lady, because lady doctors have always listened before they treated me, so I've always liked that a lot about them. So just out of the blue, when I got home, they said, we have you an appointment with High Point Chiropractic, and I ended up meeting Dr. Victoria the first day I went in. She gave me my first 12 treatments, which eased the pain and got me on my way, which normally I probably would have never seen her again. But then she asked me the question, what do you want out of your life? And when she asked me that, I said, I want to be a 10-year-old, because I've always liked sports. And I had a whole big bucket list I wanted to accomplish before my time's up. So in the last 15 years with Dr. Victoria working on me on a monthly basis, just to keep me healthy. I've ran over 100 5Ks. I've ran a dozen half marathons. I've done a half a dozen mini triathlons and many adventure races and mud and mountain races. I continue to play golf, and now I'm enjoying my grandkids and hanging around with them. So thanks to Dr. Victoria, I'm able to do everything I want to do as somebody who's almost reaching his 60s. My experience when I walked into that office, they were 100% professional. I mean, they were scheduled. They have never been late with an appointment for me, which is amazing for anybody. And of course, at the time, she was working with her husband, Dr. Dan, and they were both incredibly professional, and they also added that about their staff. They required it of their staff, and their staff performed it and always has. They've always been incredibly helpful, and I just couldn't, I recommend them to everybody I know. I can tell you a story about people who are apprehensive about going to a chiropractor. My daughter, when she was in 8th grade, did not like doctors, did not like to go see them, but was having extreme neck pain. I brought her to Dr. Victoria. She found out that the curvature in her neck was bending the opposite way it should. Within 12 weeks, Dr. V had turned that completely around. Now my daughter's 27, she still comes here as needed, and she continues on. And another story is about my wife, who just didn't like doctors at all, had extreme back pain her whole life, and I finally convinced her to come see Dr. V. And Dr. V worked on her, and to the extent that most doctors don't do, she said, I've taken you as far as you can go. You need to get your operation. My wife had a back operation, but still now comes to Dr. V twice a month to keep her back in shape. She runs 15 miles a week with me and does CrossFit and kickboxing, and does all that with a rod in her back, and Dr. V keeping everything straight.